Dear brother, what's going on, y'all? It is Soul Check Sunday. I'm going live every Friday for Relationship Friday. And now we're going live every Sunday at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for Soul Check Sunday. It's my chance to share the scriptures with my brothers. You know what I mean? It's time to share my scriptures with the brothers. You know, we all need spiritual awakening. We all need something that will strengthen us spiritually. I drop a lot of videos on YouTube about life, about family, about raising children. We're live today on YouTube. We're live today on Facebook and Instagram. If you're on Facebook and Instagram, go over to YouTube, man. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Become part of the Dear Brother podcast community. Thank you so much, everybody. We hit monetization on YouTube. I'm so proud of that. We have, I think, over about 1,650 men now. I remember starting this podcast with zero subscribers, zero anything. And just to know in 8 months, man, we have 1,600 subscribers, man. We hit monetization. So thank you, everybody, man, who's been out there subscribing, watching the videos, man. We got probably over 6,000 watch hours, man. So I'm so honored, man, that y'all are in the building. What's up, Carlton, my man? Good morning, my brother. Good morning. Remember, y'all, we're going live. We're going live every Friday for Relationship Friday at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. On Sunday, I'm going live every Sunday for a men's Bible study. We call it Soul Check Sunday here at the Dear Brother Podcast. Our theme today, man, we're going to talk about being built for the storm, what it means to be built for the storm. Remember, man, share the live, go on YouTube, hit that live, hit that, I can't put my words together to say, hit that subscribe button and hit that like button. Let brothers know, man, this is where they can come to get a word from God, man. We can talk, we can laugh, we can share. Jump in the comments at any time. If you got questions, if you got a story to tell, man, jump in there. Men need spirituality, man. Now, I didn't say church. I said men need spirituality. We need spiritual strength. There's no need having these bodies together and not our spirits together. Even if we got our minds right, there's nothing like having your spirit together, man, because we need that in these days right now. You need your soul together, right? You need your soul together. And I'm not just talking about heaven. We need our soul together to deal with the pressures of this world, to deal with the anxiety, the pressure of having to be a man, having to be a provider, you know, to lead our family, to lead our children, our sons especially, man. So jump on right now, man. Share this. But every Sunday, man, we going at it. We going at it for Soul Check Sundays, the Dear Brother Podcast, Soul Check Sundays. Let's get into it, man. The scripture I want to read today is from Hebrews. It's from the book of Hebrews. And I want to share it with y'all, man, because this is where we need to go. All right. This is where we need to go. We're going to talk about Noah today. We're going to talk about Noah and what he had going on, man, because the man was a strong man. Hebrews 11. It says, by faith, Noah, when warned about things not yet seen, in holy fear built an ark to save his family. By his faith, he condemned the world and became the heir of the righteousness that is in keeping with the faith. Now, that's a strong piece, bro. That's a strong piece because, number one, the scripture says, by faith, Noah warned about things to come. Do you know, as a man, we are leaders and we should be the first ones to know what's going on. We should never get caught in the blind as men. As men, this Bible study is for men. As men, we should never get caught in the blind about not knowing what's going on. As men, bro, it's our job to know. It's our job to have foresight. That's one of the gifts of manhood, because every man, whether you feel like a leader or not, whether you lead, it has nothing to do with leading a business, has nothing to do with leading a church, has nothing to do with leading any of that. As a man, you have a leadership gene in you, bro. You have a leadership gene. And the first thing that this scripture says about Noah is that he was warned about things to come. See, in you as a man, you can't get stuck in what's going on in front of you. That's for your wife. That's for your girl. That's for the kids. As kids and women, they can get caught on what's going on in front of them. As a man, you got to have foresight. You got to have foresight and you got to have insight. In order to lead anything as a man, you got to have foresight and insight. And the first thing I want to talk about today is the bravery. One thing you need, the first thing you need to be built for the storm And these days, and we know we got a storm going on. We got a storm going on in our world, politically, socially, emotionally. Social media is messing up our kids. It's a big storm going on, bro. Whether you understand it or not. My hope is that as a man, you understand that there's a definite storm going on. And we got to be able to see it, not only see the storm, but see through the storm. See through the storm. That's why as men, we can't get caught up on what's going on every day. Or we can't get caught up on how we feel in the moment. The moment is not our issue as men. The future, legacy, seeing ahead is what it's all about for a man, right? So number one, in order to be built for the storm and to keep our family safe in the storm, the first thing we have to do as men is have the bravery to go against the grain. You got to have the bravery to go against the grain, no matter what other people are doing, no matter what other people are set up. Right? You got to have bravery these days to go against what everybody's doing, right? When it's right. I'm not saying go against what everybody's doing just for the cause of it, but this follow the leader into the whole thing is not working, right? This follow the leader, just like our kids, right? I've been thinking real strong. I got a 7-year-old daughter. And she's on YouTube a lot, right? She's on YouTube. She likes the dad is on YouTube. She watches YouTube. And one of the things that I try to get into, I've been thinking about a lot is, man, what's on there that she should be watching at 7, right? She likes to dance, so she gets onto the dance videos and all that. But then I really start thinking, right? As much as we give our kids these phones and these iPads and all that, is it really healthy for where they're going, right? So the bravery, you need bravery these days to go against the grain. Are you willing to go against what everybody else is doing to be able to lead your family in your future? See, Noah went against the grain, bro. Noah went against the grain in that nobody understood what he was doing. And as a man, bro, it's times in your life where your family, your friends, they're not going to understand what you're doing. There's going to be some moves you make that God tell you to make that everybody ain't going to understand where you're going. Everybody's not going to understand what you're doing. Everybody's not going to buy into it. The question is, do you have enough manhood in you, enough leadership in you to be able to say, you know what? I'm going against this grain. I know it doesn't look right to everybody. I know everybody doesn't agree with it, but I'm going against the grain in that I know this is what I have to do as a man. Some of you right now got jobs and things you want to pursue, and it's against the grain. Everybody's saying, well, that's dumb, man. You're a professional in this. Why would you do that? Don't let the questions people ask you about why you're doing a thing stop you from doing that thing, right? Everybody going to have a question. And know this, bro, everybody's not going to agree with what you're doing, right? But do you have the bravery to know this is the best move to make? Because as a man of faith, you're not wishing or you're hoping, you're hearing God, right? You're hearing God. And hearing God is not always about this audible voice. Like, it's not like God's going to say, son, go this way or go that way. It's the inner knowing. As a spiritual man, what you have is something called an inner knowing, where you know right here, this is the right move to make. And sometimes, man, it's going to be your wife, your girl, your lady, your best friends who are going to be like, man, you bugging. That don't sound right. I'm going to tell you, I pastored for 27 years before I retired. And I start thinking, like, God was really like, yo, it's time to retire. It's time to take this, what you have to nations and farther. It's time to do something different. And part of me was like, yo, that don't make sense. But I knew I had to follow God. It was an inner knowing. Again, this is not about this religious voice that roars from heaven. God doesn't speak like that. God speaks in the heart of a man. That's where God speaks to. And you got to know when your heart is beating toward what God is saying to you, right? As a man, you got to know when your heart begins to throb with what God is saying. And I'm going to tell you a lot of times, just like in this Noah story we're looking at today, a lot of things God will ask you to do will be against the grain of what everybody is doing. Check the scriptures. Noah was building this boat where there was no rain. That didn't make sense to people. How many people didn't listen to Noah because it didn't make sense to people, right? David was a shepherd boy, and people said, no, it's no way this guy can be king. No way this guy can be king. It is no way. And so what did they do? They said, well, we're not going to listen to David because this guy should be taller. This guy should have the look, right? Things are not always going to look as they seem. This is what I'm saying. Some of the greatest gifting to a man is to have leadership in his foresight. The question is, bro, can you see further than now? And this is part of why I started this Soul Check Sundays, because you as a man got to develop the side of you that can see further than your family, right? Because people are caught up in what's right there in front of them. And what's right in front of us is not bigger than where you're going. You're not always going to know the answer, bro. You're not always going to see the path. This is why it's called a faith walk, because you're not always going to understand or make sense of where this thing is going. There's some things God is going to tell you to do that's going to be like, yo, that sounds crazy to me. When I retired after 26 years, I was only 39 years old. And people like, yo, you retiring from ministry? You've been doing all your life. What else you going to do? They was like, man, you bugging. I had to know that I was right. And I know today that I was right because, man, I was dying under the pressure of what I was doing. I was killing myself so much that I wound up on dialysis, right? Sick as a dog, still traveling the country, trying to do stuff. And God was telling me to take a rest. Now, would this make sense to a congregation of people following me? No. Would it make sense because this is the way my income was coming in? What in the world? You going to quit? Your income is coming in. How you going to take care of your family? It didn't make sense to me. But that's why this thing that we do in this life is a walk of faith. It's the walk of faith means that I got to follow a path that I'm not always going to understand, bro. You're not always going to understand what God is saying, but you got to know in your heart it's right, right? You got to know in your heart that it's right. So do you have the bravery, right? Noah needed bravery, right? We're not on here talking religious lingo. We're looking at men in the scriptures and how to lead our lives, not based on a religious walk, but a walk of faith. Anytime God tells a man do something, most of the time, again, it's not going to make sense. It's not even going to make sense to you. But this is the thing about being a man of faith. Noah had to stand alone. Bro, the question of manhood today, especially in the times we live in, do you have the guts as a man to stand alone? Do you have the guts of a man to stand alone against the entire world? You're being mocked by everybody. That move you make don't make sense, right? I had a brother at my job come to me and say to me, he said, man, I read your book called Home Where Hurt Men Heal. It's right here over my shoulder. I'm going to put it up on the screen for y'all. I'm going to put it up so y'all can see the book. Go get it. It's on Amazon right now. He read this book, and I was talking about my testimony in the book and my story. And my story was I walked away from everything I had, and then it seemed like everything disappeared. I didn't have nothing. I wound up homeless, sleeping in a car. Right. And he said, look, I read that part of the book. I said, yeah, you did. He said, yeah, but it just don't make sense to me. I said, what you mean? What part of it don't make sense to you? He said, man, listen, bro. It's an older man. This guy's about 80 years old, a millionaire. And he's like, yo, you know, you had to have gotten on drugs or something. He said, for you to lose everything, you must have got on drugs or something. I'm like, nah, bro, I didn't get on drugs. He said, well, what made you lose everything? I said, I followed God. He like, what? He said, you telling me that you lost everything because you followed God? He's like, no, man. He said, I ain't buying that. You had to have fell off. You had to have bumped your head. You had to have get on alcohol or something. I said, no. I said, I follow God. He said, that don't make sense to me. He said, man, you got to be holding back. He said, I'm reading a book. It's a great book. He said, but I'm reading between the lines to see what you're not saying. He said, I can't buy that nothing, that you didn't do nothing wrong. And you know the first thing that hit my mind? First thing that hit my mind was Job. First thing that hit my mind was Job. I'm like, man, in my head while he's talking, I'm like, man, that's the same thing that Job's friend said to him. You had to have messed up. You had to have fumbled something somewhere, bro. You dropped the ball. I'm like, no, I ain't dropped the ball. And at the end of the conversation, I shook his hand. I said, you know what, my brother? I said, that's the same thing Job's friend said about him. In order for your life to go into ruin, you somehow had to drop the ball somewhere. I said, and then Job got everything back. He didn't do nothing wrong. He was being tested. And I want to say that. I want to say that to some of you brothers out there right now who have been tested, and you're being tested. You're being tested by life. You're being tested financially. You're being tested socially. You're being tested emotionally. The question is, where did you go wrong, man? Sometimes it's not that you did anything wrong. Sometimes you are standing alone. You're standing alone because you're going through a transition. And the question is, are you willing to do that? See, true bravery, man, isn't about being loud. You know what true bravery is? It's about consistency, even when people disagree with you. That's what it's really about. It's about consistency when it don't make sense to nobody, when it don't even make sense to you. Are you being consistent? Can I consistently believe what God is telling me, even though it don't make sense? Because I'm going to tell you, bro, it will make sense. I thought I would never recover from being on dialysis. I thought I was going to die there. I thought I would never recover from losing my child. I thought I was going to die there. There's so many places in life where I felt like my life is going to be over, bro. There's no way I'm going to make it, right? This don't make sense to me. Why would God be doing this? I'm telling you that I became a better man through those transitions, and so are you. You're becoming a better man through the transitions. So this is what I'm saying as a man, why you need foresight, why you need to be able to look further down the line and not just be caught in what's in front of you, right? And so this is the point I want to make today. Number 2, your obedience, man. You got to be obedient when you don't understand. We hit this already. See, Noah followed God's instructions without ever having seen rain. See, you got to follow God's instructions, man, even though you don't see the material of it. This is what being a man of faith is. A man of faith is not about a suit and a tie and sitting on the deacon's row or being whatever position they want to give you. No, no, no. Being a spiritual man has nothing to do with any of that. It has something to do with the inner strength, an inner strength that sits you in a place where you can hear God even when it don't make sense. That is a spiritual man. A spiritual man can follow the direction of God even when nobody else is going to go that way or willing to walk with you that way. There's going to be a lot of days as a man where people are going to think you lost your mind. And sometimes the best thing for you is to have lost your mind. Man, did you lose your mind? Yeah, I lost my mind. I picked up God's mind, because this is the truth, bro. A lot of us, you followed you into some terrible places. Come on, let's be honest, man. You followed you into some terrible places. I know I have, and I know you listening have. Followed yourself into some rough places, and you're going to keep on following you. At a certain point, man, you got to do what we call surrender and follow God into the next places and spaces of your life, because you know where you took you. You know you haven't been as good to you as you could have been to you. You know there were some decisions you made based on how you felt in the moment, and it messed up your life for 10, 15 years, right? So the question is, what are you going to do? Am I going to walk by a faith, or am I keep on walking by my own direction that hasn't led me good at all? See, sometimes as men, we are so logical. We are logical, right? We're not we don't walk by emotions like a woman does. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. A woman is made to follow her emotions. That's how God made her. For us, God gave us logic. He gave us how to look through things and break things down. But then there's times in your life where logic don't even work, and you got to slip into the gift of faith. Now, what's faith, Christian? Faith is the sixth sense. You know, we have five senses, right? Touch, taste. Watch me forget one. Touch, taste, smell, sight, and hearing. There you go, right? But then there's a sixth sense. I like to call it the sixth sense, called faith, where I can't see it, I can't smell it, I can't taste it, I can't hear it, I can't touch it. But something in me makes me know that this is real. Every man needs that, right? Every man needs that. Every man needs a sense of faith, right? Because that's what really carries you, right? And then you need boldness. You need boldness. Why? To lead your family. You need boldness to say no. You need boldness to say this is wrong, right? I was just in this situation last night where it's something my kids wanted, and I'm like, yo, this is not really a good move. This is a bad investment. Now I ain't gonna lie to y'all, because I'm never gonna lie to y'all on the Dear Brother podcast, especially on our Sundays, right? On our Soul Check Sundays. Can't lie on our Soul Check Sundays. I made a bad investment last night just because my daughter would be happy. And I'll give you an example. She's a heck of a track athlete. She's a heck of a gymnast. And right now she's getting recruited by colleges to go run track. And then last night I get a call, hey, we need $200 to go toward a gymnastics thing. And I'm like, wait a minute. She's getting recruited to go to track. Why would we invest this? I'd rather give 200 to the speed coach that's going to help her go to college and help her get her speeds together. I broke down. You know why I broke down? Like most of us break down as men, even though it's against everything we believe in. It's like, all right, that's just gonna make y'all happy. You just want some peace, right? But in the trueness, in order to lead your family, you need boldness to be able to lead them, even in places they don't understand. See, Noah didn't just build an ark, my brothers. Noah was protecting his family. And he had to do something they didn't understand. And then not only did he have to do something they didn't understand, he had to carry them into a vision they didn't understand. See, this is what I'm saying. This is what our Soul Check Sunday is all about. It's not about being preachy and being religious. No, this is about understanding life and how to lead yourself spiritually and your family spiritually, right? It ain't about religion. This is about a relationship with God so that you can be able to walk through life with another vision that you cannot have on your own. You cannot have on your own. We can't lead our life just by logic, my brothers. We got to lead our logic. We got to lead our family and our futures by faith. Faith is greater than logic. Faith is great. I want to say that 3 times. Faith is greater than logic. Faith is greater than logic. Faith is greater than logic 3 times. We have believed in our logic so much as men that we don't believe there's another sense that we need beyond the logic we have. Again, women are led by their emotions. We know we can't be led by our emotions because emotions go up and down like a wave. And we know we can't be led by logic all the time because sometimes, as much as something makes sense, and let me ask y'all, some things made so total sense to you, right? And then fell apart right before your eyes. You know why? Because there's a deeper sense of knowing that's deeper than logic. That's deeper than logic. Let me see who's in the chat. It's deeper than logic, right? It's deeper than logic. It's about faith. What's up, Will Council? That part. What part? Tell me in this. I'm teaching, bro. So I want to tell me in the chat what part you talking about, bro, because I can go back over it. What part touched you right there, bro? Share it with me. But this is the thing, it's deeper. You have a deeper walk. So it takes this obedience, man. And let me tell you something. Obedience doesn't require understanding. I want y'all to see that. Obedience doesn't require understanding. It doesn't. Now, I know somebody saying, whoa, Christian, you bugging now. If I'm going to obey something, I got to at least know. Sometimes you won't know. And we all understand this. You ever not know something and then something is telling you, yo, go that way. Drive this way to work today. You handle the situation this way. And you either obey that or you don't obey that. Why? Because sometimes what you think you know ain't as strong as you think it is. And you gotta walk another direction. And sometimes as a man, and I know this and you know this, I ain't telling y'all something you don't know as men. I'm trying to stir up something within you. Sometimes as a man, you got to be willing to walk in the dark. You got to be willing to walk in the dark and feel your way in order to get to better places. Because sometimes our understanding has kept us bound. My father's favorite scripture was, lean not to your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge him and he'll direct your path, right? Lean not to your own understanding. Why? Because our understanding ain't always correct, brothers. Yeah, I saved the Chinese store cups, bro. Right? All right, let me see who's in the chat. Let me see. What's good? Yep, what's good? The know a future others can't see. Yeah, bro. As men, to know a future others can't see. That's part of manhood. That's part of manhood, bro. That's why I started Soul Check Sundays, man. Because it's part of our manhood, not to just be strong and get money and all that. No. I think the strongest part of our manhood, and put your thing back up. I want other people to see it. The strongest part of our manhood is to know the future that others cannot see, and then be bold enough to walk into it even when others disagree with it. Good point, man. It's crazy when you see it in your mind or hear it in your heart and it makes you look crazy, but you're really not crazy. You're not crazy, bro. You're not crazy, right? There's a whole lot of spaces and places in our life, man, where people gonna make you think you crazy, But don't let what people think make you walk away from what you know God is saying to do. Any great man had to follow a path that other people didn't understand. You want to be great? Be willing to follow a path that other people don't understand, bro. You just have to. You have to. So we got to have the boldness, man. We got to have the boldness. Noah didn't just build the ark, right? Again, he didn't build a ark. He brought his whole family, which means, again, you got to be willing to lead people into something they don't understand. You want to talk about manhood? Manhood is the ability to lead people, is to get people to trust you. See, because manhood ain't saying, oh, y'all don't believe it? Forget y'all then. No, manhood is being able to sit there and talk and express and communicate, which is some of our biggest struggle, to communicate what we know is right without frustrating ourselves to the point where we just flag people. You can't flag your family. You can't flag your business partners. You can't flag your children. You got to be able to sit there and talk them into what you know is right. That takes patience. That takes manhood, right? Because leadership is not about control. No, leadership is about direction. It's about protection. That's what great leadership is about. You want to be a leader? Protect and direct. It ain't about taking somebody by the throat and saying, you're going to follow me, right? We saw Jesus as a man lead that way. He didn't take the disciples by the throat and say, you're going to follow me. In fact, he said, follow me, and just kept walking. Right. And even the guys who said, yo, I need to do something first. He was like, well, he gave him I gotta go take care of my family first. I gotta go do this first. What he said a few words to them, and they were either coming or not. You had a rich young ruler that was like, look, Jesus, I want to follow you, bro. He like, all right, well, give up everything you got. It wasn't that Jesus was trying to make the man broke. He was trying to test the man on what he would believe. Would he believe in what he had more than what he was going, where he was going? Oh man. Let's pause there. Hey, this shirt coming out too. I want to let y'all know it. Mended men. This shirt's coming out. I got the hat too. It's going to be in the store soon in my store on christianwinners.com. In fact, let me put this up right now. Let me take a pause for the cause. I got a new ebook up on christianwinners.com right now called Removing the Shame from Your Life. Go get this book, man. Go get this book. I taught this before I wrote it. I taught a 3-part series on removing the shame from your life. A lot of us battle with shame. A lot of us battle with guilt and doubt. But in this book, I dealt with shame directly. A lot of us can't get where we're going because we battling with shame. Go to christianwinners.com right now. Go in the store. That book's available to you right now. Go get it. Removing the shame from your life. Go check it out. This teaching saved me from all kinds of shame and guilt and stuff, man. I wrote this book, man, so you can do the same thing. You can't walk in the strength you want to dealing with shame, man. So here it is. On my website, christianwinters.com. Go get that book right now. All right, let me see. Back in the chat, let me see. Yo, my guy, Ron McGee. What's up, brother? I'm on here, Ron, every Sunday, bro. Every Sunday at 12 o'clock. Relationship Fridays. Ron, you've been riding with me from the rip, man. You've been riding with me from the rip, my brother. I had a lot of schedule change. I used to have the 6 o'clock a.m. show every morning. A lot of schedule changes, man, but I'm settling in to my new schedule. So every Friday, Ron, Relationship Friday. I just put one up Friday. Live show, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. Every Sunday I'll be on here at 12 noon. All right. And so for my live shows, two live shows a week. I drop videos every day, my brothers. And again, I want to pause. I want to thank everybody. And Ron McGee, you reminded me of this, bro. You were one of the first people that supported the show from the rip, man. Now we got about almost 1,650 something subscribers, bro, from zero. We up to 1,650, bro, subscribers. We also got monetized on YouTube. Man, big blessing. And Ron, I want to shout you out, bro, because you were one of the original guys who was riding the whole time with me on this show, man. So thank you so much, bro. Let me see. Can't do Friday. Oh, you'll be teaching, but you'll be here Sundays. Yes, sir. But the show will always be up there, man. Even though the live show won't be on there, you won't be able to be part of the live show. It'll still be up for you to watch and share, bro. So thank you, bro. I want to personally thank you for being one of our very beginning supporters of the Dear Brother podcast. for us, man. So thank you so much, my brother. And Will Counsel, man, you always in there with us, man. Thank you so much, my brother. I appreciate you. Let me finish up Noah today. We talking about Noah and the courage to build. Another thing you need as a man is you need endurance to build. You need endurance to build, and you need endurance to build by yourself. There's a difference between building and building by yourself. There's a great difference between building and building by yourself. There's a difference. And you got to know that there's sometimes in life, as a leader, as a man, as a business owner, as a husband, as a teacher, whatever you're leading, that sometimes you got to build by yourself. Noah built for 100 years with no support. See, a lot of men, listen, as men, you're not always going to have support. Women need support. Children need support. I'm not saying men don't need support, but there are seasons in your life as a man where you got to build without support, because it's part of building resilience in your life. It's part of building resilience in your life, to be able to build what you see in your mind. Because I'm going to tell you, sometimes support can become a distraction, because it's people supporting you won't see like you see. And now you'll find yourself building something weaker than you should have built, because you're listening to people who couldn't see the vision. And anytime you build a thing, even if you're building your life back together, I don't care what you're building, you are going to need to build by yourself, because the framework of where you're going is in your head. It's in your heart. And you got to be willing to do that as a man by yourself, because that's part of your resilience. I got a podcast on silence, man. Go look up that podcast. I think I dropped it last week, The Power of Silence, because there's a lot you learn while you build in silence. It's a lot you learn about yourself having to build in silence, bro. It's a lot that you learn. Some of you don't even know how strong you are. See, you don't only learn how strong you are by what you survive. You also learn as a man how strong you are on your ability to build something and focus on it without being distracted by love relationships, by women, by what other people are doing, by what other people say is cool and it sounds cool and their opinions of what you should be doing. There gotta come a place in your life as a man where you're willing to walk away from the opinions of other people to get where you gotta go. You can't sit there in the opinions of other people and think you're gonna get where you gotta go as a man. It's never gonna happen, bro. It's never gonna happen. You can't get to that place where you're waiting for permission, waiting for the okay by other people. Do you know there's some people that's never going to give you that okay, because that okay is going to stop them from getting what they want from you? Oh man, feel this. And see, this is why I'm coming out with this t-shirt and hat line. Why? Because as a mended man, when you put your life back together again, it's going to be you that's doing the stitching, bro. It's going to be you. It ain't going to be me, even though y'all enjoy the podcast. As men, I'm not on here to stitch you up. I'm on here to hand you the stitches in the needle and then show you how to do it. But as a man, sometimes you got to put yourself back together. And you know what? When you put yourself back together, then you learn how to put your family together. Then you learn how to put your business together. Then you learn how to put your marriage together. Then you understand? But it starts in putting you together. Because let me tell you something about us. We're patient with us. So if you can build yourself patiently, then you learn how to build other things patiently. Don't be the kind of man that's willing to work on something else, but miss the work you need to do on yourself, right? Because when you work you learn to work other things with more grace, more patience. Let me see who's in the chat. Let me see. I know you rocking, Ron, my man. I know you are, bro. I appreciate your support. Let me see. Will Counter, I pray nothing but success for you, fam. You have great. Oh man, thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man, from my heart. Thank you, bro. I worked very hard to build this podcast over 8 months, bro, and to have over 1,600 men on this podcast, man. Listen, bro. Thank you, bro. Let me see. Your elevation may require isolation all day long. Yes, bro. Your elevation is going to require, is going to require isolation. It's going to. Why? This is another reason. So that when you succeed, Ron, nobody can take credit but God. Do you know how many people sit around our lives and wait to take credit? That's why it's nothing like walking alone with God, hand in hand with our creator, the God that made us, the God that blew the breath of life in us. It's nothing like walking with him. So nobody can say, well, I gave you the money, I gave you this and that. No. Sometimes you got to walk in the dark with God, bro. You got to walk in the dark with God. Man, I thank God for this Soul Check Sundays, man, because every Sunday, bro, I'm telling you, we got to build our spirit up. And we're doing it right now. You got to be able to walk in the dark with God, right? And feel your way. It's nothing like feeling your way as a man. You learn things differently when you got to feel your way. Sometimes the light ain't always going to be on, right? But you know what happens when you walk in darkness with God? You adjust to darkness so that darkness don't scare you no more. Because through this walk of life, you always going to have dark spaces where you don't understand. Imagine never walking with God through the dark. That means the next time the dark comes, you won't know what to do. You won't know where to go. You'll get so scared that maybe you'll run back to the light. No. Sometimes that's why some of us go back, bro. Some of us run back to the light because the light seems safe. But this is the thing, it's backwards. The light seems safe, but it's backwards. Don't go backwards, bro. Sometimes you got to walk in the dark until you see light. And let's go deeper. Sometimes you got to walk in the dark to create light for your family, for your children, for your business. You got to do that, bro. Learn how to create light. That's a man. That's a man. Let me see. Ron McGee. Support can also look like a distraction. When you start making moves for applause and forget your. Come on, man. Yes, absolutely. Support can look like a distraction when you start making moves for applause. Absolutely, bro. Sometimes this is the thing. There's some people that will applaud you right out of your destiny, bro. Right? There's some people that will applaud you right out of your destiny. And this is the problem. When you live for applause, you'll die without it. Come on, y'all. When you live for applause, you'll die without it. I'm going to say it again. When you live for applause, you'll die without it. You got to be able to walk as a man and see where you're going without nobody cheering you on. Because again, like Ron was sharing, you'll live for the applause. You'll live for the support, and you won't be able to build. There will come a time, more than one in your life, where you'll have to walk away from your support to build what God said. And in fact, a lot of times God will tell you something specifically that will make you walk away from support, because God is trying to get you away from support so he can talk to you and not all the people that need something from you. Do you know there's some things that God will try to do in your life that he can't do because you got too many parasites around you? Feel me? There's times in your life where God will intentionally not bless you because of the position you're in. You're surrounded by too many people that will enjoy your blessing before you can get your hands on it. I'm telling you, be smart. In fact, be wise. Kiambi, man, my brother. God bless you, bro. God bless you, Kiambi. Man, make sure you go over to the Dear Brother Podcast on YouTube, man. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, become part of the community. All right, we got a sister in the building. Hey, Cherie, how are you, my sister? Wow, thank you for being a part. Thank you for being a part today. I appreciate you so much. Appreciate you so much. Amen, bro. I'm glad y'all seeing what I'm saying, man. So obedience, you got to walk obedient when you don't understand. Again, obedience doesn't require understanding. Obedience requires surrender. Right? That's a hard word for men. Surrender. Yeah, bro. It's not really a hard word. You surrender to your weakness plenty of times. We've all surrendered. We surrendered to the wrong women. We surrendered to the wrong situations. We have surrendered to peer pressure. We surrendered to something we wanted financially that was stupid and we did it anyway. We all have surrendered, bro. Why not surrender to God? That can take you where you really got to go, right? Again, you got to have the endurance to build by yourself. Build in silence. Build in fear. Build while you're scared. Keep building, right? Like Ron was saying, build in seasons of isolation. Listen, if God gave you a blueprint to go somewhere you're going, bro, he will also strengthen you for where you're going, even when others leave you and it don't make sense to them. Look, let me hit this last point for the day. The attention to detail is what blew my mind about Noah's story. God didn't just tell Noah to build a boat. He gave Noah detailed instructions. I'm talking about when you read it, he gave him what size of everything on how to build. Why? Because the man was about to go into a storm. That's why today I called this Soul Check Sunday Built for the Storm. Because if you want to build for the storm, it got to be detailed. Why? If you miss the details, bro, if you miss the details, then the storm will wind up tearing you apart because you missed the details. And we all do it. We all done it as men. Jump in the chat if you've done this before. You buy something that got to be put together. I'm not all men are like this, but I know I am. I want to get the thing together built. You get done, it's 3 screws and one little piece of metal or something sitting over there. It's like, man, I know that was supposed to go somewhere. And you got the thing built. And the thing is built. You like, oh, it's built. But you know, like I know, like, tag, man, I probably missed something. Right? Eventually, that thing standing up, it look good, it's all together. But once a couple bumps and moves, you like that thing get rickety, and then you remember, oh man, them 3 screws in that little piece of metal meant something. Why? Because the storm got to it. It's the same thing with our life. You got to build with detail. Stop missing pieces, because some of us as men, we're in a rush to see it come together, but we miss the pieces that guaranteed it will be together correctly, bro. Don't do that to yourself. It was exact. Noah was exact in his measurements of how this thing came together. Every single detail mattered. Every detail matters about your life as a man. It matters how you are financially. It matters how you are physically. It matters how you are mentally, emotionally, socially, spiritually. It matters. Make sure you pay attention to the details. When you're about to date a woman, make sure you pay attention to the details. Don't just let her beauty fool you. Pay attention to the details. Don't let her body fool you. Pay attention to the details. Pay attention to what she says. Pay attention to her connectiveness to the Spirit of God. Pay attention to her connectiveness to you. See if she's listening to you actively. See if she has any scruples up here. See if she holds real intellect that can match your intellect. You know how many of us brothers get with women that they beautiful, but they ain't got nothing in their head? And then you're sitting here talking about your dreams, your goal, and she totally disconnected. That's because you didn't pay attention to details. That's why so many of it happens to all of us. And at one time or another, we've gotten caught up in this thing this woman got going on, and we missed the details of who she actually is. And I'm gonna tell you, I got this book coming out. I got a new book coming out. I'll show it to y'all right quick. But it's called Dear Brother. It's not even gonna be this color. This book is just the just my upprint, so I can work on it. In fact, it's done. I'll be loading it up to Amazon. I'll probably bring it out the middle of this month. But it's called Dear Brother. Dear Brother, the blueprint to becoming the man of your own dreams. Right? In fact, let me read the back of this to y'all. Many of us have squandered incredible opportunities for greatness. Beautiful relationships, chances to thrive because of self-doubt, fatigue, or fear. We have also allowed fast-paced living, misguided affection, and pride to drive us away from the safety of wisdom. You do not always have to face great hardship to have success. Even if you're on the road that's been less traveled, I can assure you that someone has been there before. In Dear Brother, I use the timeless wisdom of the book of Proverbs as a foundation for these letters. Through practical insights, this book will help you better understand who you are as a man, why you do what you do, how to move forward toward becoming the man you can be proud of. This journey will shift your mind toward a better life choices, lift your esteem, and sharpen your self-awareness. Embrace the 31 steps to finding your way home. Now, the reason I read that to you is because when you get to the end of the book of Proverbs, because we're talking about women, Proverbs 31. You hear a lot of women talk about Proverbs 31. Proverbs 31 is the book that talks about this woman. That book, women have taken it and started all kinds of conferences and everything. But the book of Proverbs is a letter written from a father to a son. He has 31 books. So 30 books is written about wisdom, knowledge, understanding, how to handle this, how to walk through this, right? He saves the very last book, Proverbs 31. He saves that last book to talk about what kind of woman to choose. Why does he save it as the last book? He saves it as the last book because what he's saying to his son is if you follow these 30 books of wisdom and you get them right and your heart gets sealed to this wisdom, if you choose the wrong woman at the end of the day, it will totally forfeit everything else you've gained. Brother, you can build your life and put it all together. You get with the wrong woman, game over. I promise you that. Right? And so Noah was exact. Be exact when you start dating. Be exact when you talk about who you're going to marry. Right? Be exact when you put your life together. Right? This is what I want to say. Then I'll go into the chat because I'm done. The men who last are the men who build with discipline, not just desire. I'm going to say it again. The men who last in this society are the men who build with discipline, not just desire. Desire is a wave, bro, and you can desire the craziest things. But when it comes to discipline, it puts an end to the waves of life. Discipline puts an end to the waves of life. Lead your life with discipline, not desire. Let me see who's in the chat. I'm trying, my brother. I'm trying, bro. I'm in here, bro. Man, I thank y'all so much, bro, for hanging out with me, man. I really appreciate y'all, man. Y'all mean the world to me. This channel means the world to me, man. Y'all are my guys, man. Y'all are my guys. Listen, bro. Y'all can also, man, before I get out of here, let me see. I want to do Dear Brother the advice. If anybody needs advice on something or wants to shoot something in the chat, man, that us brothers can help you with, shoot it in there. Mike Fagan in the building. Hey, man, all you Facebook folks, man, make sure you brothers, man, go over to the Dear Brother podcast on YouTube so y'all can check all the videos. I drop videos almost every day, sometimes twice a day. I got 2 live shows, man, 2 live shows every week now. Friday, Relationship Friday, 12 noon, and our Soul Check Sundays, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. 2 lives per week, but videos get dropped every day. I got this new book. It's my new ebook. Go on the website, christianwinners.com, y'all. Go check that book out, man. It's available to you right now. Go check it out. Removing the Shame. You hit the link, you'll have that book in minutes in your phone, your iPad, whatever you want it in. That book will be right to you. We battle with shame, guilt, doubt. This book is going to teach you how to break out of it, man, so you can live your best life, bro, as a man, your best life. We got Dear Brother the advice. If anybody wants to jump in, man, you can drop something that hits you today. Jump in the chat, y'all. Drop something that let me know something that really affected you or impacted you today, man. Drop a line. Let me know what part of the Soul Check Sunday blessed you today, man. You can drop that right in the chat. Drop that right in the chat, man. This is how I end our shows, man. Dear Brother the advice. Let me see. When you build, where do you start when there are so many things to do? Okay, great. Brilliant question, bro. Brilliant question. This is the answer. Will. You got to go back to the soil of your life. All right. Now, like I know, when you build anything, you got to start at the soil. You can't jump to the second and third floor. You got to start at the soil of your life. This is where you start. The soil of your life is your desires, right? Your desires is, who am I as a man? What really matters to me? What kind of man do I want to be? Who am I as a man? What matters to me? What kind of man do I want to be? That's where you start. And anytime you build something, you got to deconstruct. And these are the questions that help you deconstruct. Who am I? Right? What kind of man do I want to be? This is where you start, because then you start building, you start subtracting things from your life that don't um suit what kind of man you're trying to be, right? Relationships, whether they be your homeboys, girl, whatever it is, you start to take things from your life that you know are not allowing you to see yourself for who you really are. Then you start moving habits from your life that don't point to who you are. See, it's all about what kind of man you want to be. You got to start there. You got to start there. And I suggest every man get a journal. Journaling is not a female trait. Journal is not for women. Every man needs a journal. In fact, I got mine right here. Right? This, I sit down and I write, right? Because then you start writing, you can go back and saying, yo, is this decision I'm about to make part of the man I want to be? You got to have a foundation. You got to choose. And then you start subtracting or adding things in your life that point you toward that direction. I'll give you a simple example. It's like saying, last week, y'all see I put a video up about every man needs to get in shape, whatever kind of shape that is, right? I said to myself, look, I want to drop 20 pounds, right? That video you see me on there with a juicer, I'm juicing and all that. Look, I done dropped 8 already, right? I can't say, look, I need to lose 20 pounds and let me shoot the KFC right quick, right? Oh, let me get this cheesesteak in, right? It's just as simple. It's like driving a car. I'm trying to drive across the country, right? I got to put gas in the car first. My desire to drive across the country, I can't ignore what I need to drive across the country, right? So decide what kind of man you want to be. Great question. Great question, my brother. Great question. I hope I helped you. If I didn't, go on there and tell me that didn't help me. And I'll help. Paying attention to detail and discipline eliminates desire. Oh, man. That thing hit me too when I was putting this show together, bro. Attention to detail. Yeah, man. That's one thing I know I haven't done as a man. I've been in such a rush sometimes as a man to get where I got to go that I didn't pay attention to proper detail. I was just like rushing because I just wanted to see it done. And sometimes seeing it done, I was missing whole pieces of my life. And you know what? I've achieved a lot of things in life. You know when I found out I was missing most? Me. The whole time. I was lacking me. The whole time. I had to be in a car homeless, bro. Not even my car. I was in a borrowed car, homeless, living in a parking lot in 2022. And that's where I found me. I've traveled the world. I've built schools in other countries. I've helped a whole lot of people. I didn't find myself. The thing I was lacking the most was me. In fact, this book right here, Home, Where Hurt Men Heal. You know what I wrote that book? I wrote that book in that car homeless, bro, on this cell phone. I sat back one night, grabbed my phone, I went into the notes, and I wrote that book you see right there on this phone. That's why the book is about home, where hurt men heal. Because home is not a physical place. Home is the sanctuary of your mind, clearing the sanctuary of your mind. I thought my life belonged to everybody else, bro. I was so lost. And that's why I wrote that book. Go get it, man. It's on Amazon right now. Go check out that book, Home Where Hurt Men Heal. It's on Amazon right now, man. Go check it out, bro. It'll help you find home. And all of us got home. Home is when you felt like yourself. Home as a man is when you felt your strongest. Home is when you felt your most free. Home is when you felt most like yourself. Go home, bro. For some of us, it is a physical home. Some of us has left our families. You need to go back. You need to go back, repent to your wife, hug your babies, man. Go back. But wherever home is, go there, bro. Go there. Go there, bro. Let me see. Who's in the chat? Let me see. I think that's what you said. Discipline is more. Yeah, bro. That's exactly what I said, man. And if I ain't say it that way, you said it real fly. I'm gonna hold on to that. Discipline eliminates desire. Ooh, boy, that might be a podcast. Fact, man. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna write that down, Kiambi. I'm gonna credit you, bro. I think I need to do a podcast on those 3 words right there. Discipline eliminates desire. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Let me see. No, this is on point. Biggest takeaway. Walk in the dark until I become. Yeah, bro. Walk in the dark until you become the light. Yes, sir. Can't force the vision you see in order to lead. No, you can't force it. Mm-mm. Let me go back to that point. That's such a good point. Let me go back to that point. That leadership, what we say, leadership is not about control. Where is it at? Leadership is not about control. It's about direction and protection. The strongest leader directs and protects, not about control. Like I told y'all, Jesus didn't grab the disciples by the throat and say, y'all gonna follow me. He gave them a reason to. Hold on to that. You ain't got to grab your kids and your wife and the dog by the throat and say, follow me. Give them a reason to. They want to be led. You got to give them a reason. You got to give them a reason. And anybody will follow a man who knows that that man is led. Y'all hear me? People will follow a man who they know is led. People don't want to follow a man who's led by nothing. See, this is why we got Soul Check Sunday, right? People will follow a man that's led by something. It could be his vision, it could be his goal, right? When I pastored the church, people would always ask me, man, why do people do whatever you do, whatever you say? I don't control nobody. But when I said I was going to build a church, I built it. When I said I was going to build a children's center, I built it. Whatever I said I was going to do, I did it. We never had money problems at Master Builders Church. Man, sometimes I miss being a pastor. Right? But it was great years, 26 years, bro. 26 years in ministry, right? But those people followed me, man, because I did what I said I was going to do. I came home, I was in Guyana, and I met a little girl who was prostituting herself, man, for pieces of food. And the schools was far away. And you know what I said? I will never see this happen to no children. And I came home. I said, I'm going to build a school in this village to stop the small village called Swan Village, about 45 minutes outside of Georgetown. And I said, I'm going to build this school. I came home. I said, I need to raise money to build this school. That money came in within 2 weeks, cash money. And I went and built that school, came back with the pictures and the kids, and the school was furnished. People will follow you when you say you're going to do when you do what you say you're going to do. And you don't have to force nobody. Y'all see that other book up there too. I'm going to put that up. Don't be offended. It's the truth. Let me see. Let me see. Where is it at? No, that ain't it. That's for the ladies. Let me see. But if some of y'all want to buy a book for your wife, I wrote another book after I eulogized my mother back in 2012. I wrote a book called The Soul of Sarah. In fact, I got a April 15th. I'm teaching a women's conference, 200 women. I'll be teaching this book, 200 women. If you want a book to be a blessing to your girl, your wife, your lady, your sisters, man, it's on Amazon. The Soul of Sarah. You can go grab that, man, for a lady that you love, bro. But this the one. This the final book I wrote before I retired. I left church to serve God. Some people were upset about the title. They, their religion got a hold of them. They couldn't understand. Right? I didn't say I left church not to serve God. I said left church to serve God. Do you know how many churches we serve our own religious traditions and we forgot about what God wants? That's what this book is about, getting back to what God wants. I also wrote the first half of this book. I wrote about my 26-year experience in ministry. Go grab these books, man. They're all on Amazon. Grab them because I got another one coming out that I showed y'all called Dear Brother, the blueprint to becoming the man of your own dreams. Go grab them, bro. They're on there for you. Let me see. My man, Mr. Burton, I need that book. Don't be offended. It's the truth. Is that for everyone or just women? Not what you talking about? This which one? The Soul of Sarah? Man, bro, listen, I have so many men buy. Look, everybody buys these books. That's why I'm so blessed by it, man. Everybody buys these books, man. Women, men, everybody. They buy these books. Let me see. Let me get back to it. It's available to you. All these books, man. They on Amazon. Soul of Sarah. Yeah, it's for everybody, man. Listen, if you want to understand the heart of a woman, listen. I got women who still don't believe I wrote this book. In fact, I had a lady tell me that last week. She was like, "Ain't no way you wrote that book. It's too direct. It's too." I said I was inspired by God after I eulogized my mother. Man, God showed me what to say. Yes, plenty of men buy that book just to understand the heart of a woman. Let me see. It's the truth, bro. It's the truth. It's the truth. Well, gentlemen, thanks for hanging out with me today. And remember, I got this ebook. If anybody wants to grab that, you can have that in your claws today. Have that on your cell phone, your iPad today. Removing the shame from your life. It's available to you on my website, christianwinters.com. Go in the store. You hit a button, and that book will be in your hands within minutes, bro. So if you want that book, go grab that book, man. It's a good solid read to help you understand shame and how to get rid of it. One of the greatest points I make about shame is that it's not a teacher. Shame is a terrorist. It will tear apart your life, man. So if you want that book, man, go grab it. It's on christianwinters.com right now. You can go grab that book. All right. If anybody was blessed today, um, and you want to leave a donation, man, you can do that too to help me build this podcast, help me buy better equipment and everything else, man, to make this podcast everything it has to be. And so right at the bottom of the screen, man, if you want to make an investment, you can PayPal, or Cash App, man. You can be a blessing to the work. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate every one of you. Visit the website, christianwinners.com. You can book me there to speak at any event. And if you want to drop off a tip, man, to be a blessing, so help me keep on building this podcast and reaching more men, you can. It's scrolling at the bottom of the screen right here. You can invest today, Cash App, PayPal. You could be a blessing to the work that I'm doing to help men thrive and survive. We end every show the same, man. I love you. Make sure you love you. I care about you. You got to make sure you care about you. Walk this life out, brother, with no fear, no shame, and no compromise. And if you know it, repeat after me. If you don't know it, just follow me right now. We end every show like this. Yesterday was history, and tomorrow's a mystery. All we got is right now. What you going to do with it? What you going to do about it? Bro, I love you. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Help us get to 2,500 subscribers so we can change the lives of men. We change men's life. We change the nation. Love y'all. Until the next time. Peace, and I'm out of here.